Hello, everyone.
Hello. Glad you could join us today
Yes, welcome.
and welcome back.
Yes, yes. We aren't really sure. We've had a few questions that have been asked,
hmm
and we're just going to kind of put them together because they're very similar. It's all about spirit.
Yeah, all
Right.
about spirit,
So we
different
did not
verbiage.
take time to sit and kind of talk about this first. So
No,
so
we,
we're gonna talk it out now, I guess.
yeah. I guess one of the things that stuck out for me was that with the different questions is the different verbiage that people use for spirit.
Yes, always interesting.
And
Mhm.
and
Yes,
endless
yes. And we
verbiage.
we donate to that. I don't know how else to say that. We
We do donate to that.
yes.
We do.
Yeah.
Uh,
We'll use spirit in just the like as in the the universal God, whatever that is spirit.
yeah, that universal energy that runs
Yes.
through every living thing.
No
Being.
matter the vibration.
Yes, no matter the vibration.
If it's not in human form, it's going to be spirit. But then we are part of spirit too within us.
Mhm,
The paranormal, we will use the word spirit.
mhm.
It's oftentimes, okay, that could be a difference.
Using
When
spirit or spirits, plural.
correct. Yes.
Yes.
That's yes.
Yes, because usually if there's just one spirit, we will say there's an earthy.
Yes. Sometimes we
We
use the term ghost. That's what
once in
people know,
once in a while.
or entity, but
But you're right. I think when there are multiples, I think we do tend to use spirits.
yes. And
Mhm,
what just brought what I is because we'll say, like we did a clearing yesterday, it's like, oh, there's several, there are quite a few spirits here. Because there's different levels of what a spirit is. There's different, but in that case, when we're talking paranormal,
mhm.
we will usually refer to spirits as the earthies, entities, whatever they are in the room, and we'll
Mhm.
use spirit guides or guardians as our higher beings. That's interesting. I never thought about that, how
I
we have that.
never did either.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
in general, if you're just, when we're just talking or we're in a session or a class or something and we say spirit, it's because we're talking about
The
um
universal
yes, that universal. I couldn't come up with that word.
that universal
Yes.
energy, being, whatever, however you see it, whether it's spirit, God,
Mm-hmm.
uh, source,
Mm-hmm.
creator,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah, I know there's more, but that's
there is
typically
there is a plethora, right?
yes.
Because
Yeah,
um and each religion has their own reference,
correct.
right?
Yep. Yep.
Um
Yep.
so people that use that religious reference,
Yes.
whether they want to agree with me or not, it's all the same.
Right. I believe you.
It's all universal, it's all encompassing, and it is all love.
Yes, all love. And
Mm,
that includes when we're talking about our higher self,
mhm.
any guides, our counsel, any whatever. Spirit.
It's
We use spirit.
it's all part of it. It's an extension of it or a
And I'm going to throw something else out here too.
okay.
So we did have someone, and we have on other occasions, people talking about like aliens.
Yeah.
So, in my opinion, through whatever experience I have with that, there's experiences. There's the same system there as well. They have ones that are in more human form that people have said they have seen, and I believe people have seen them. They also have they have aliens that are energetic and in spirit. We have worked with many of those, and they're different there's a whole different ecosystem. It's still all under that universal energy, in my opinion. The entire universe is under that. So they have their own sort of system, if you will. So that's another, but we don't typically call, well, I was going to say we don't typically call them spirits. However, that's not entirely true.
It's not entirely true.
Because there are some, so like we would talk about ascended masters, right? Or even those type of beings that are they have a lot of wisdom. There are levels above ascended master, right? They different, oh man, it's just so complicated. Well, the what we would call an alien has that same thing, and we have dealt with the ones that have a very high vibration, that are beautiful and loving and kind and are here for everyone. Just like angels are here for angels, I don't believe are only for human consumption. They are universal and they're everywhere. So it's very complicated. However,
it is complicated, and I will be fully honest, there are times when I just limit myself to my realm.
Yes. Oh, I do.
Because it's so vast that my brain just like, I can't. It hurts. It hurts.
No. So if anyone's wondering though, when we say spirit, think about the context in which we are saying.
Yeah.
And if we're just like this, having this conversation here, if we talk about the paranormal, we're going to clue you in. We're going to tell you that's what we're talking about, and the spirit, and that's typically going to be an earthy.
Typically.
So, but we will try to get better about being more clear.
Sometimes I think we will use that term spirits when we haven't yet deciphered.
That happens a lot.
What it is. If it's an earthbound spirit, if it's a spirit of the earth.
Yes.
If it's a spirit of unknown origin.
Yes, we will. Yep. We just say spirit. There is a spirit. There is a spirit or spirits.
You're right.
We do use that verbiage. It's the same word, but it's in a different context. So we will try to get better when we talk about it to be more clear. And at the same time, I would say when you're listening to us and you're like, she just said spirit, what does she mean? Take a moment and think of how we're using that, in what context we're using that.
Right.
That term.
Yeah.
We don't mean to confuse anyone.
For me, the term spirit is that's just what comes out.
Yeah. If anything that's not in human form or is not inside a body, pretty much, I think it's when we use, right? Spirit. I think.
Yeah. But when I'm talking that universal source creator, that term spirit is just, I don't know. For me, that's just what comes out.
Right. I agree. Me too. So sorry, y'all, for the confusion.
There was something else I was going to say, and I have no clue what it was. I opened my mouth and it was gone.
That's because Pam was just talking right over you.
No. Before you even started talking, I'm like,
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
So,
but I can say that it doesn't matter what you call that universal energy being.
Correct.
It's there.
It's there. It is.
And it's got your back, and it's there to support you.
Yep.
With all of its extensions of guides and loving beings. And it's not even important that you know who that guide or being is.
We get that a lot. People come to us because they want to know who their spirit guides are. And I don't believe, and I think Mari-Lyn is the same way, it's not our job to tell you who they, even if we know who they are, it's not our job. It is such, and there's a few reasons for this. One reason is you are going to know better than I do. I could see someone, let's say I see, I don't know, whoever standing, Ganesh, we'll just throw that out there. I see Ganesh standing next to you. Okay, well, that he could be coming in for one particular reason. He could be coming in for me. He could be coming in for one lesson. He could be your guide. He could be, there's all sorts of reasons that he would be there. And so I'm not going to say, even if I kind of know who it is. A lot of times I don't, because I have said, Spirit has let me know. It's not right. None of my business to be telling anyone anything.
None yet.
And the process in which you learn who your guides are is so beautiful. I don't want to take that from anyone. That is such a beautiful journey all on its own. I don't want to take that from you. So any of you who have gone to a psychic and said, who are my guides? And they tell you, oh, I see this person, that person. I would really, could they be, I mean, you can call any of them guides. You could call any of them guides.
Yeah.
Are they your guides that have been assigned to you, that you asked to be a part of your life? That's what I would question. And take that journey to find out for yourself. Don't let anyone else tell you who they are, because it could just be your opinion. It could be my opinion. Maybe I get it wrong. Maybe I read that energy wrong. And I tell you something that isn't. I can't tell you how many times that's happened too. People come and they say, oh, whoever, Ra is my guide, and Zeus, and whoever. And could they be? Sure. But they usually are not. It's you have to find out for yourself. People, when other people tell you, they are wrong way more often than they're right. Yes.
There have been, well, I can only think of two specific times when someone has come in and I have said to my client, this person has come in. I don't know if they have a message for you. I don't know if they have, if they are, one was very recent and the other one was quite a long while ago. But you're right to say, oh, this is your guide.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, what comes to mind too is ask yourself why. Because what I would call a main guide, before we come in, we contract with one specifically. And some of us have more, and that's okay too. But even if you, like me, I came in with 3, but there's really one that's my main absolute number 1 guide. You have a number 1, a number 2, a number 3, like you do. The reason he's my guide is because so much of what he does, I need to learn those things from him. He is a part of me. We have, he is a master healer, which is what I don't know about a master healer, but I am a healer. So there's that connection there. So can I call in whoever? Sure. Yeah, I can. I used to sit down and I would ask when I was learning how to channel, I would call in ascended masters and archangels and so forth for the practice. So I've met so many, not nearly as many are out there, but they can be my guide for a moment, or maybe just a particular situation I'm in. One, I could call on one of those, or they'll just show. Typically, they just show. If you have to call them, that's not your guide. Typically, doesn't mean you can't work with them.
Right.
Does not mean that at all. But there's a
you're right.
That's your guide.
They will come in and go, you're gonna ask, I'm right here.
Yeah.
You're gonna ask.
Yes.
Hello, stupid.
Even when we're opening space and I call in our guidance, I'm not really, what I'm doing is we've created a space, and the ones who want to be there and should be there and whatever, they come right up to the space, and I have to ask them in, or say, come on in. But I'm not calling them from nowhere. They come in.
Right.
So
right.
There's a lot of anyway, we get that a lot with spirit guides, all those things. And there's some crazy thoughts out there about who's working with people.
Yes.
So just know that it's your personal journey. And if you're on that journey to meet them and you discover, or you think, I don't think this is who I was told it is, I think it's someone else. Go with that, because they're trying to get you to know who they are. So, and as far as, they really don't care what you call them. They don't care what, you really don't even have to get to know your guides. That's not a super important thing.
Nope. It's more of a human ego thing. Well, yes, ego. It can definitely make us feel safer, more comfortable.
Yep.
Definitely helps us build trust.
Yes. And then you can let go of it, which kind of we've done. Yeah. I still, when I work with people, when I do, I'll still say Fred, because he is my main guide. But other than that, I really don't. I just lump him in there with spirit. Yeah. But
for me, I have found that generally I'm just receiving information. I have no idea. It's just spirit bringing me information.
Yes.
It's when I'm not listening.
Yes.
Or it's like imperative that I understand. Then a guide will come in. Because when and this will happen even if I am not, because I'm not paying attention, but there's no time to waste. You got to understand this. You got to understand it right now. So I'm bringing it because if you see me, this is important.
Yes. And you tune in. Right. Yeah.
Instantly.
There's no bypassing that.
And it's not always my main guide. I have met so many different guides that I know are important in very specific areas of my life.
Yes.
And when I get that first vibration, that first inkling, it's like, okay, I'm here, I'm tuning in, I'm all yours.
Yep.
Lay it on me.
Yes. Lay it on me.
Lay it on me. What do you got?
Yes. Yes.
Yes, it's quite amazing.
It's very amazing. Yes. So,
where do we segue into?
Yes. Did we answer people's questions that they had about spirit? And you might be talking to us right now and we can't hear you. What I want to know is sorry.
Yeah. I am sure we did not answer everyone's questions about spirit.
I have another one that just sort of came in. And this is another question that we've been asked plethora of times. And that's sort of, like, when did we know we were psychic? We've talked about that. forever. I mean, we may, like I've said, I didn't know that I was, but when I look back, I go, oh, yes, I was. We here at TCS, healing is huge. You have to heal. You have to heal. The difference between, because I can tell you, oh, I was, 30 when I started developing my, start figuring stuff out. And boy, I thought I was like all that. And it wasn't until I really started healing years later that I went, oh, this is what gifting is. This is it. We only have so much space to hold energy in our bodies.
Mm-hmm.
When you're holding on to your wounding and your traumas, that's taking up space. So healing does many things, but one of the things, you let go of that, you learn those lessons.
Mm-hmm.
You learn and you grow and you
Yes.
evolve and you take responsibility for your shit. You allow yourself the clarity to know that, oh man, I screwed that up, but I'm not going to I'm healing it, blah, 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 blah. But you let go of that and spirit fills that up with your own personal beauty and gifting
Yes.
and abilities. And it's
Yeah.
just amazing. So, really late 40s into my 50s, I'm headed up that 50 ladder. I actually just had recently a birthday, 57. So that's really, though, when the abilities really came through. Was I good back in my 30s? I think so. For an unhealed person like we mostly are then, yeah, I think I did some good things. I think I learned, now talk about learning the paranormal. Those were some big times for that.
Mm-hmm.
And just developing my clairs and all of that all happened. What are you laughing at?
My own.
Excuse me?
My own stuff.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah.
Yes. So when we talk about, oh, that person is young and they're out there working as a psychic or whatever, and sure, they might know some stuff and they're developing,
Mm-hmm.
yet they don't have, and when we talk about experience, a lot of that is just life experience. When you
life experience
heal,
is so important.
when you heal, you really tap into your life experience. You have to know all sides of that issue, all sides of that wounding and trauma. You have to understand all the bits and pieces to say, woof, I have some life experience for you. And I can now share that or open up to it now because you've been around it. I don't know how else to say that.
Well, when you have lived either personally or secondhandly through certain scenarios in life, when you have lived through those and you are working with someone else who is going through that,
yeah,
there's no substitute for firsthand knowledge.
Absolutely.
There just isn't.
And when people come to you as, even if a psychic reader, so when everyone starts, you start sort of as a psychic reader. That's how you start. You have to develop that. People come to you with very personal things, and you might receive very personal information. If you are not in a space in your life where you can fully understand that, and doesn't mean that you've had to have been through it, because we've all had different experiences.
Right.
But we know pain, we know shame, we know loneliness, we know depression, we know anger, we know those things. And when someone tells you something, to be able to hold space for that person in a loving, kind way, being able to give that person that information that's very sensitive
Mm-hmm.
and be able to accept however they react to that
Yep.
and hold space for them,
Yep.
that takes experience. It takes life taking you into your upper ages. It really does.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But
So,
it's so our journeys are so absolutely
oh,
different,
so different.
because when did I first know? As a child. But my life experience was um some recognition and shut it down. Oop, something happens, recognition. Shut it down, recognition, shut it down. My whole life
Yes.
until after sobriety. But as a teenager, I can remember, this is one reason when I was laughing earlier, as a teenager, I can remember just certain things falling into place and me realizing, what if I really am psychic? Not? Okay, I was a teenager.
Yeah.
I thought it was me. I thought it was me
Oh,
knowing all of
yes.
this stuff, that it was
Yes.
me. And
Yes.
the harder I tried to make it work,
Yes. Yes. Yes.
the more
Yes.
I
No,
failed
no, yes.
so miserably.
Yeah. Yeah.
So miserably.
So, yeah.
Uh, okay, so shut it down again.
Yes.
Um, in my 20s and 30s, I had some paranormal experiences, but my unhealed empathy and my alcohol use.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, that right there is a recipe for disaster. Either one of them are a recipe for disaster, but you combine the two of them,
Yeah.
and you walk into a building that clearly has activity,
Yes.
and you're like, oh no, I can't stay in here, it's just okay,
Yeah.
that really happened.
That's not good. Just so the audience knows.
It is so not good, so not good.
No.
Having alcohol in your system,
No.
walking into a place that has activity, and
Yeah.
that unhealed empathy, and you are
Yes.
boom.
Now I am going to say
Yes.
those are some great learning experiences.
Yes.
Those attribute to how good you are today.
Thank you.
Yes.
Um,
I also want to say not everyone our age or even older is I'm not going to say, oh, you should only go to older people because they know more than. No, we know a lot of people our age in this business who, I'm sorry, but they I would never send anyone to them.
and we do refer people to people that are younger than ourselves.
Yes, yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, case in point, the only two other people that TCS has sort of approved would be Nana and
Mm-hmm.
Carissa.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So both started as my students, and
Mm-hmm.
and and I've had people ask me about that actually. Well, do you hire anyone or whatever who are not students of yours? And the answer is no, pretty much flat out no, no. Now I would certainly, if they came through Mari-Lyn, sure, because I know Mari-Lyn's teacher. but and the reason I say that is because Fred has given me a specific outline of the way that I teach. It's really his teaching, but it comes through me, right? The way I teach, there has to be healing. There has to be a So no matter, okay, so here it is. No matter who you go to at TCS, any one of the four of us, we have the same ethics and guidelines, the same verbiage. You're not going to go to each one of us and go, what is that? Oh, well, Pam refers to it as this, and Carissa says it's this, but I think it's like, it's not that at all. Everything is in that way the same. Every one of us has different abilities, and so that's different. And that's also, Fred really encourages everyone to find their own whatever
Their own.
Their own.
Yeah.
And we're all different, our experiences, but yes, so that's it. So I know I've had that question too.
Yes.
And
yeah.
And yes, so someone needed to hear that as to why, and maybe not, maybe I just needed to say it, why I'm sort of strict on that point. And we don't just hire off the street. It's just not, you have to, it's a process, and you have to heal a certain amount. You have to be ready, and we start everyone off really slow and move them through when they're ready. So anyway, I don't know why that came up, but it did. So there you are. Well, I'm sure there are people that go to our website and they look, which we need to change that. So
I know we keep talking about that, and then we keep, not.
Well, not everything is perfect on there. Like, I think still what's on there, I wonder if this is what it was, because I just looked at the website this morning. It says the only one that we endorse would be Nan, and that's not true. Carissa too, but we haven't changed it. That's why this just came out today.
Okay.
Why I'm saying it.
Okay.
Yes.
Good. Yes.
Yes.
We do.
Yes.
We have an agenda.
Yes, we do. We do. Yes. Yes.
And there's much more on there, I'm sure, that needs to be updated and refreshed. And
yes, and we will get to that. So
yeah.
Now where do we go?
Nowhere. Wow.
Oh, yes.
No, I don't know. Do you have something?
Oh, well, I was just, what's coming through now is that some of the people, it's not just, sometimes we come in where like someone needed to hear that. It was like one or two people.
Right.
This is a more universal sort of collective thing. There's a real feeling of restlessness. There's a feeling of people are being asked by spirit to walk in a direction that they are not walking in, and you might be a little, like, those of you listening, this might be you have an opportunity and you're fearful of it. You aren't sure if it's the right thing. Maybe people in your life are even saying, no, stay small, don't do that.
The risk is too
the
great.
risk Yes.
The risk is too great.
Right. And hell yes. And that's why we take those risks. Yes. Because they are not too great, but they're great.
They're great.
And and there's a reason it's there. It's either a lesson that needs to be learned and it's time to learn it because you are bypassing like crazy. Or it's really that thing for you, that thing that's really going to open up for you. There's no smoking gun, let's just say. Everything is a journey.
Yes.
Everything is a journey. So you're not going to step into that and then all of a sudden all your dreams come true. It doesn't work that way.
Right? Dang.
Yeah, I know. Shoot.
But no, it doesn't. But you're also not going to jump in and fall to your death.
Right.
Even if you jump in and there's a big lesson and you get thrown down the stairs.
Yes, yes. Yes. And
that could happen.
Either way, that's meant to happen though.
Yeah.
Like, okay, it's time. And to remember that it's your life and not everyone else's. People, I think they have good intentions, but they come from their own wounding. When someone says, "Oh, I don't think it's a good idea because this and this," or, well, think about the people that are going to be involved. Think about that. That's their shit, not yours.
Mm.
Yeah. So I would say to all of you who are sort of in that, go for it. Just go for it. And let the chips fall where they may, because spirit has got you. And there is a big reason that you are at that precipice right now, ready to try something new.
So,
yes.
How do we know when we are being spirit led as opposed to ego led?
Ego led. Yes.
Aside from the voices,
correct.
Right? Because the ego is usually
really loud,
and spirit is very soft and subtle and might be continuous, but it's usually softer.
Yeah. So what's coming for me now is, and so just so you know, when we say that, what's coming now, that means spirit is giving us information. I know we've had people ask us that too. What does that mean? Or when it lands, that's another thing. That means when Mari-Lyn says that lands, that means she's getting recognition from spirit that yes. Yeah. That makes sense. That is it. Absolutely. You're on the right path. You're on the right track, whatever. That lands.
And I want to say there is a difference for me when it lands and when I go, oh, okay, that's a possibility.
Yes.
And sometimes I can ignore the landing if it's something I don't want to hear.
Yes. When do you ever not want to hear something?
Okay, how often has this happened? I'll say, oh, okay, sure. And you will come back with, does that not land? Well, duh. What if?
Yes. How can I bypass this? That's my thing. That's what goes through my head. How can I bypass what she's saying because I don't want to hear it?
Yeah. And we have both done that. We have different verbiage that shows, I'm not ready to go there yet.
Yes.
But yeah, that when it lands and spirit, there is no mistaking, man, that spirit is going, yes.
So for me, spirit led, it's a feeling. It is this, it's not in my head. It's in my body. Like I feel it's not smack dab in the heart space. For me, it is not. That sometimes can tell me it's wounding. But there's a little bit of fear. There's a little bit of, is that really it? Like there's an excitement in it. And I will get other signs and signals. Like maybe I'll keep seeing the same numbers, or I'm just walking and a butterfly flies by my face. There's things that sort of that's very rare that would happen. That's a sign. And it sort of leads, there is if I stop and sort of take a breath and go, I'm being led there. It's never something, it is not like a scratch the itch type thing. It is not a big, like you're so excited and yeah, that's the right thing. Wow. Right. That's usually not the things.
Usually not spirit led.
No.
You can get that at the wrong point in it.
It doesn't mean it's the wrong thing, but those big life things. Mari-Lyn, and I know we've talked about before, and we're not coming out and saying what, but we're really being led in this other direction. And it's a very slow process. And we are reminded all the time that this is the way to go with that. And we sort of jump on that path for a while, and then we jump off because it feels a little overwhelming or we need to process. It's always there, and it's always so beautiful. And there's that spark of excitement in it.
For me, it's so funny. You said there's a little bit of fear for you. I get the most fear when I feel like I am being led.
Oh,
my fear is like, woof.
Oh, depending on what it is, that could work for me too. So I acknowledge that. Yes.
And regardless of the fear, for me, there is always this, internal knowledge that I have to trust. I don't quite know how to explain it other than that. I have to trust.
Yeah.
And
trust is so big.
Sometimes I don't even know what it is that I have to trust.
Trust in spirit, believe in yourself is what we often say.
That is what you very, very often will tell me.
Yes.
Because when there's something that is spirit led, even if it's a very subtle idea, it can overwhelm me.
Yes.
And I think it's the part of that is that vibration that comes with something that is spirit led, that is so high and beautiful. And then that trust piece is like, you have to trust.
And what also comes up when you say that is there's always healing that has to be done around it. Always.
You're right.
Yes.
Always.
Until just now, until you said that, I went, well, because that's where the fear is coming, because there is wounding there.
Always.
And you have to do some healing to get past, to really see clearly and really to receive or jump on that journey. There's always healing involved.
Always healing. Sometimes it's to be able to see what it is that you're being led to do.
Yes.
Other times it's healing to get you to a certain point or to get you beyond. But you're absolutely right. Healing always is involved when something is spirit led.
Always. Yeah.
And I think as something being spirit led as different than, say, something I contracted to do in this lifetime.
Okay.
Not to say that what spirit's leading me to do, I didn't contract to do.
Okay. That's the piece that I wanted to hear. And yes.
But
those free will pieces are tougher, in my opinion.
Yeah, how do I want to say this? But something that I have contracted to do, that doesn't involve spirit having to take me there.
Yeah, because they're going to happen whether you are looking or not. They happen.
So if we talk about something that is spirit led, we're not talking about those everyday things that we have contracted to do in our life.
Okay. Gotcha. Yes.
Yeah. Sorry. This took me a really roundabout way to
That's okay. That was an important piece that we didn't talk about.
But yes, did we contract to do where spirit is leading us? Yes.
Yeah.
And if we didn't do it before we came into this lifetime,
right,
at some point in our life, we're contracting to do it.
So it's those things that have more free will that are more of a struggle for us. Is this spirit led or not? Because we can free will it. Like I can choose just to look away and not do it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And that's really, I think, more things, more of those For me, I think contracts are more of the wounding, the trauma, dealing with it, healing from it, and then we are rewarded by these things. Even those good things in life, like if I look back at all my jobs, I'm sure I was contracted to do all of them or whatever it was. It doesn't mean that there was just a lot of learning involved in all of it. A lot of it. Yeah. I don't even know where I was going with that. I was going somewhere, but I lost it.
Isn't partly the reason we make contracts is to learn those lessons?
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And karma, let's talk about we've talked about before, but karma is not, oh, I did something bad and I walked out on the street and got hit by a car. You didn't just get your karma from that. Karma, you make karma with other people and situations. And the karma just means you didn't finish it. And so you're here to finish that. Like maybe there was a person that you had some karma, that you created karma with in a past life. Neither one of you settled it. So you come back again and you meet that person again in a similar situation
and it's just hellacious.
Oh, dude.
Right? Until you can resolve that karma, it can be
those are some experience. So, people will do that. Is this my twin flame? Is this and I don't mean to make light of people who believe in twin flames and all of that, but we get that. Is this my twin flame? Like, nope, this is just karma that you need to fix this time, or you're going to come back and meet this person again in another life, and it's going to be even uglier the next time. So, yes. And karma can be something really honestly as simple as, let's say you have a friend, someone you haven't seen for a while, or maybe you just bumped into someone and met someone and you agreed to go to lunch together, and instead of going, you just blow it off. You just created karma with that person. So it can be that simple.
Can be, yeah.
So to break that would be to then contact them and say, I am so sorry. I did not do that with you. And I don't think I'm going to. It was really nice meeting you, but I think I'm going to leave that here. Thank you for your time. That breaks that karma right there. Boom, done. But if you don't, you got stuff to take care of.
I don't know if somebody needs this scenario to be brought up, but what about the relationship? If you do this, I'm going to do this.
Huh?
The relationship where someone does something mean to the other person. Well, you did that, so I'm going to do this.
Yes.
Always having to outdo the pain.
Yep, that's karma, man. That right there is karma. That's not a twin. I know some people are probably going, that's a twin flame. No. But even if it is, if you want to label it twin flame, fine. You have created karma. One of you has to be the bigger person and stop.
And it can be as easy as that.
Yes.
As just stopping that cycle.
Stopping the cycle and healing from it yourself. And sometimes, and not always, but there are times. So if I had something with someone and it goes bad, we didn't learn that karma or whatever, but I choose to heal from it and heal that wounding and release that karma on my part, then it's done for me. I can choose, like we might see each other in spirit after we both leave here, and that person says, oh man, I didn't do it. Can you come back and try this again with me? I can say yes, but it's not to read, but I'm not going to feel that I'm not karmically bound to that person. I'm just doing it because they have asked me to, and I'm going to do that. And we do that kind of stuff too.
And hopefully they will learn that time, and they will be able to resolve their own karma from that.
Yes. And if there's no karma in it for me this time, much easier for me to say, your craziness needs to go somewhere else, because not happening.
I think
I'm not home for you now.
That healing piece is such an important part of karma.
Ooh, I have another. And no, no, no. The answer is no. You cannot go into energy healing and have hooks or karmas broken if you haven't learned from it. Nope, nope, nope. Sorry. Because that's another thing. People have come and say, well, I, can you break all these ties? Can you unhook me? Can you whatever? Sure. But if the karmas, if you haven't learned from it, that they're not going anywhere. They're going to come right back. Once you've done it, once you've healed from that, that's a good time to dissolve all those, the hooks and the ties, so you don't relive it, because that can happen, but you can't get out of learning it. Sorry, Charlie.
True.
Yes.
Very good point. Very good point.
And if there is a Charlie listening, sorry, that was you specifically.
That went right over my head. Came back and stopped me in the back of my head. That was funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. It can be helpful to release any ties that can be released to help aid in that healing.
Yes, ma'am. Because we hold on to a lot of other stuff around it.
We do.
So that's a very good point. And we have done that. Or you sort of, there's residual stuff, and some reason we just want to hold on to everything. I don't know.
We do.
So get all that stuff cleared away so you can see that karma clearly. You can see what you need to do in your lesson, and then it's much easier to get there. Good point, Mari-Lyn.
Thank you.
Yes, very good.
But even with that said,
yeah,
releasing and dissolving some of those will still come back if you don't do the healing.
Yep. And
And
there are other things. So this is what's coming to mind too. If any of you watch our paranormal channel, we started doing reactions for a long time, and people kept asking us they wanted to see what we do. And so we started doing some clearing videos. And then we just recently started doing clearing videos in a little different way. And it's fabulous.
So amazing.
So the last 4 videos, I think, were out.
Oh, I think there's 4.
Yes. If any of you are curious about what we do, those are fabulous to watch. And we have more coming. More coming. And I want to thank everyone who has participated in those. They have been so helpful to people. I can't tell you how helpful just getting that word out of how much damage can be done by having activity in your home. Not even activity, just bad
energy.
Just bad energy can be so, yes. But there was in one of them, it was Amanda. Her son had his legs hurt him all the time. And I could see that was some, if I remember, I'm pretty sure there was more than just a past life connection, but there was some other connection to it. And I'm sorry, I don't remember. Y'all have to watch the video but we cleared that all away, and he's doing great. We need to do a follow-up on all those videos too. From that,
we do.
So there's a lot.
I would like to think that everybody would like to know how everybody's doing, like, a month after the clearing.
I agree.
Yeah.
But there's so much that can be done energetically to remove. That was the reason that came, was because there was something he was carrying with him in this lifetime that sort of that connected to that past life. And it sort of connected. We don't do a lot of past, when it comes up, we do past life healings.
Yeah.
I mean, because it was there, but we can hold a lot of energy that
he was holding this, and it wasn't serving him any purpose, right? Yeah. Just holding on to it, and without it serving a purpose, that's so detrimental.
Yes.
And it just holds us back from anything that we are wanting or meant to do.
Yes. So that was a roundabout way to say something. I'm not sure, but hey, I'm sure there was something that I always feel like there has to be a reason
Well,
for
it
everything we talked
ties right into healing and
about.
releasing those hooks and ties,
Yeah.
as opposed to healing and still holding on, because we do
Yes.
that too,
Yes.
right? We
Yeah.
can heal
Yeah.
and we can pull any part of it back and
Yep.
hang on to it and wallow in it and
Ooh,
be a victim of
yes.
it,
Yeah.
even though there's no more wounding. We still have
Yes.
that
Yes.
capability.
Yes.
Um,
Victimhood is we've all been there. We've all been a victim
of something.
of something. All of us, every one of us. And there's some of us, I was the best victim on the planet for years. I was so good at being a victim, so good at it. That was a lot to heal, a lot to heal. And every once in a while, something will still come up. And my beautiful friend here will will say, are you kind of, do you see the connection with victimhood here? Like, "Gosh, got it. Ah, yes.
I
And so
think
they'll
she's
clear that
really got
away.
the roles reversed, because I can fall into victimhood pretty easy.
That one we
Too.
both know pretty well.
We do. We
Oh,
are.
but neither one of us like we used to be. Not even.
Oh
Thank
no.
God. I don't make myself sick now.
Mm-mm,
You know what I
mm-mm.
mean? When you're in that victim thing and you just, oh gosh. And then you start healing it and you look back and you go, oh my God, was I that bad? Oh,
Yeah. What's really nice now
huh?
is that I notice it. I know it. I'm like, shit.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm in
Oh, isn't
victim
that
mode.
awesome when we can see
Okay,
it for
well,
ourselves?
I'm gonna just sit here for the day and peace out, world. I am a victim
Nope.
and ain't nobody gonna do nothing about it.
Nope. Nope.
And then, about 4 o'clock rolls around. Are you busy? I am so tired of sitting in this.
Yes, yes. And we both do that with each other all the time, all the time.
Oh,
So there's something for me, there's something so beautiful when I can recognize it in myself, that I
yes,
can recognize that I'm in this
yes,
shit and
yes,
I need help out of it. It
yeah.
is a totally different beast than going through life and loop, loop, nope, nothing. And I don't see anything. And everyone around me's like, oh my God, does she not see
Yeah,
that?
nope,
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 nope.
nope.
I'm just bypassing my way through here and don't ask me to look at anything because ain't gonna do it.
Ain't gonna do it. No,
Mm, yes,
no, that is, whew. There is a time, I think, for everybody's life, they have to go through life that way.
yes.
A very short period of time.
But it's mostly those years up until you start healing.
Yeah,
30s, 40s, 50s,
60s.
60s.
Well,
Yeah.
okay,
You know what? As
okay,
long as you get there,
yeah. I retract that 60s, because yes, I am in my 60s. I did not wait until my
no,
60s to
you
start
did not.
healing.
No,
No, no, no, no.
no
I
way.
started my healing in my late 40s.
Yep, yep, yes.
And
Real
that's
healing. Now, when we talk about, so I want to clarify this too.
yes.
Both Mari-Lyn and I have done the medication route. We've done the talk therapy route more than once. I can't tell you how many therapists I've had. Some fabulous. Very few were fabulous. Most of them were not
I
so.
got so lucky. I've
Yes,
had
you did.
one and she was amazing.
Yes. Nope, not me. I think I'm more of the norm. People, you have to, this is true. Those of you who are out there with a therapist and you don't feel like it's going anywhere, it could be that that connection is just done and it's time for you to move on and get a new therapist. It's okay. And you're not everyone has the experience that Mari-Lyn does, where it's that one that you
I'm
can.
going to say mine spirit led me to her.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. That
Each
I
one
have
of
no
mine
doubt.
served a purpose. I can say that. Of course they did, but
Mhm.
the one that I had, the last one I had, he was amazing. and really, really healed. But that wasn't where for me, that was not where the real healing started. That was helped me with clarity and sort of understand what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
But the really deep healing, like I'm able to do for other people today,
Mm-hmm.
was in my 40s when I with Laura. And whoo, yeah, that energy healing, multidimensional energy healer.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, whoa, this is what it's all about. Yeah.
Yeah. Deep healing for me happened with energy healing, but when I got sober and the clarity came,
yeah,
there was a substantial amount of healing that began to happen.
yes,
And that had to happen before I could get deep
yes,
enough with energy healing.
yes. And I
Mm-hmm.
can say one beautiful thing that I have personally watched with you happen, sort of unfold, is you haven't just survived alcoholism. You are thriving. You have, you know,
Thank you.
I know a lot of the same people you do only because of, when I was doing the meditations and the people that would come that were, recovering alcoholics and drug addicts, etc. And so many of them had been clean or sober for like 10, 15 years, maybe even more. Some of them were doing great, were thriving, but there were some that were still every day. It was a daily grind every day. And I watched that. I mean, I didn't see you really in that. I met you after that real daily grind, but I did see you where it was more of a, one day at a time. Okay, I can do this, to where it is today, where it's not even an issue. Like, it just like we could go out, not that I would ever do this, and I'm not much of a drinker, but we could go out and I could order a glass of wine. It would be like, it's not going to trigger
Yes.
you. It's not going to
Nope.
whatever. Like, it's just not going to happen. And that's such a beautiful, beautiful place
It
to
is.
see you in.
I will say though, I am not immune at all
No, nope.
to
Well, it's not like you can go drink again.
no, never.
That's not an option.
Not an option. No. And just recently, and I did a short podcast on this, but being overwhelmed with business just going, I mean, it's fabulous. And I couldn't be more thrilled, but good things can still be overwhelming.
Stress, there's good stress and bad stress.
Yes.
There's stress because things are going so well and it's important to us.
Yeah, but it's still stress, and it still takes a toll. And man, that glass of wine, looking back on it and remembering how good that sounded to me, that's scary.
Yes.
It wasn't scary at the moment because I knew what was happening. I knew it was saying, you're overwhelmed and you need to do something about this.
Yes. And that's not the ticket.
Hindsight, looking back at how good that, oh man, that's terrifying. It really is.
You know what comes up for me, which is this, and tell me if this is not what you want to talk about, but it's interesting to me that spirit did not bring you your alcohol of choice in that moment. Right?
That crossed my mind too.
Did it?
Yes.
Why it was wine and not your go-to choice. So why do you think that is?
So the tears behind my eyes tell me,
oh, yeah,
that I was overwhelmed enough that had that craving come,
I wondered if that was it.
It would have, I would not have succumbed to it, but it would have been really painful. It would have been, I would not have realized as soon as I did,
Yeah.
because wine was not my go-to.
No, not at
I
all.
was
No,
not a wine,
no, but it's still alcohol. So I could
it
see
is.
why spirit brought that, because it was, it's adjacent, but it
Yep.
isn't the one.
Yeah. Nope.
And in case anyone is wondering, if she ever said that, I'm gonna go buy a bottle or I'm gonna have a drink or something, um, if her husband wasn't there to like pin her down and not let her go, I would be right over there in a heartbeat. And spirit has actually shown me a few times me tackling her. Like, this is what you need to do if
Yep.
this ever happens.
And I have no doubt of that. And I appreciate that so very much. I don't think that would ever happen.
No.
However,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's drinking again is just not an option.
No.
It
No.
cannot happen. And
Now talk about a decision. We were just early talking about choices.
yeah,
That choice would destroy you.
that choice would destroy me.
Yep.
It would destroy my husband.
Yep.
Um,
Your best friend,
it
your career.
it would
Yeah.
absolutely destroy my family.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
And it's not going to happen. We
no,
know. Yeah.
no, it's not. Um, and for anybody who's wondering, my drink of choice was Corbel brandy.
Yep. And if there's anyone out there struggling with quitting something that's important to you, or any sort, whether it's an addiction, just something that's important to you, whatever, I encourage you to listen and watch Mari-Lyn right now. The strength and the courage, I have tears, that it took her to stop and to get to where she is right now is beyond inspiring. And if she can do it, believe me, you can too. Whatever it is, whatever it is.
Whatever it is.
That is no joke what she went through.
And
many people do, but
many people do.
Yes.
People are doing it every minute of every day.
Yes.
And the ability to help one other person realize that they are worth so much more than that thing,
Yes.
whatever it is.
Yes.
It's amazing.
Yes. And finding spirit is an essential piece. It really is. However that looks.
It is. However that looks.
Yeah.
And it's it can look as big or as small as you need it to be.
Yeah.
But please know you are not alone. As alone as you might feel in whatever it is you're facing, you are not. You are not alone.
No. I think that might be a good way to stop today. I think.
Okay.
Now that we brought everyone down. Sorry, y'all. We love you all. We do. And spirit loves you. Yes.
Yes, we do. And I appreciate that I can share my fear and my joy.
Yes.
Through this, because what you all witnessed there was a real peek at some fear of the possibility. But what you see right now is the joy and resolve in.
Yes.
I have so much more living to do.
Oh, yes.
So much more.
Yep.
To give and to receive. I'm not trading that in for.
Hell no.
Not a chance. No.
And I get to be it's not luck. I was going to say lucky, but that's not the right word. but to be your BFF in this. And it wouldn't be the same without you. It would not at all. This journey
wouldn't be near as weird.
It would blow. That's that's so weird. To be able to not have to say to someone, okay, this is really weird, or you're not going to believe this, or whatever. Even though we kind of use that verbiage, I know that that's not true, because when I tell her, she's going to know or believe me or whatever. Yep. Yes, there's never, well, we do eye roll each other once in a while, but not for that reason.
True. Very true. Yeah.
Mari-Lyn does give those eye rolls when I'm like bypassing, when I'm like, no, that's not it.
I'm like, oh my God, really? Okay. What else, man?
You're so pretty. I know.
Oh, dang it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes. Well, thank you everyone for tuning in today. We hope you enjoyed this as much as we did. It was a roller coaster.
Today was it went like all the way around.
Yes, it did.
But these are real conversations that we used to have, and I'm so glad we're back to having them, because I miss them. I really miss them. And you know, when we
let them go wherever they're going to go.
Yes, when we have a topic and we stick to that topic, those are great. But when we can just talk and go wherever spirit takes us to go,
yes,
I love them.
Although I am going to say, have we ever truly stuck to just the topic?
Probably not.
Not really.
Probably not.
But these ones where we don't really come on with a topic, that's yeah, damn it.
Yeah.
No.
They're all, I enjoy all of them. Even though
too.
sometimes getting words out of my mouth are not always the easiest thing.
And then I'm over here spewing.
So
we're so different in that way.
And
yeah. Good. And please send us send us questions. That was because we kind of took from several different people that questioned and whatever, and because there was that thread of the similarity in all of them, and so that was a nice
thread of curiosity.
Ooh, thank you, Spirit. Yeah. Yes. Indeed. Love being curious. Curious is the best. Stay curious.
Stay curious.
Stay curious.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. And if you don't know about our paranormal channel, TCS Everyday Psychics, that's on YouTube, and then TCSEverydayPsychics.com.
Yep, that's the website.
Our website.
And you can reach out to us through that website. We would we would love to hear from you if you have paranormal activity, if you have
we'd love to come and help.
What's that word? Topics.
Yes
Topics that you would like us to discuss. We cannot promise we will stick to that topic, but
but hopefully we'll get an answer.
But we would love to talk about things that you guys want to hear about.
Yeah,
we really would. So
we love doing this. It's and we're so grateful that you want to hear us. Like you want to listen to these old broads talk about like that is just so heartwarming to me. Thank you.
It's one of those things that makes me go,
yes.
Yeah.
Because when we started this, we said we will not just be entertainment. That is just BS.
No.
We are spirit-led. We were spirit-led to do all of this. Everything we do is spirit-led. And we will not just be we hope we're entertaining, but that's not the point.
But entertainment is not the goal.
No. No.
Education and expansion.
Oh. Ooh, both those words are just so beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in.
Thank you. We'll see you next time.
See you next time.
Yeah. Bye.